There's a war that no one talks about, and it's not the kind of war you'll read about in history books, nor is it the kind that makes headlines. It's a quiet war, a war that takes place every day, all over the world, in homes, in stores, and even in the break room. This war is waged in silence, by souls who rise every day with no backup, no safety net, no one to call when the world feels too heavy. It's the battle of getting out of bed when your body begs to stay down. The battle of putting on a steady face when inside you are unraveling. The battle of showing up for everyone else while quietly wondering if anyone will show up for you. And most people, they never see it. And that's what makes this the hardest war of all, because you carry it alone. And I know this weight, the kind that lives behind your laughter, stitched into every smile that says, I'm fine. The kind that demands you keep pouring out when your own cup has long run dry. We celebrate independence until it becomes inconvenient. Then suddenly your strength is mistaken for coldness. Your resilience is redefined as bitterness. But they don't know. They don't see the war raging behind your eyes. They don't hear the silent screams echoing in your chest. They don't see the battlefield in your soul. And when you carry this kind of war alone, it doesn't just weigh on your spirit. It reshapes your reality. It changes how you move through the world, how you trust, how you ask for help, or stop asking altogether. Because somewhere along the way you learn that support isn't guaranteed, and vulnerability doesn't always invite comfort. So you adapt. You build walls where there should have been bridges. You become your own lifeline, your own shoulder to cry on, the only one that you can depend on. But that adaptation, it comes at a cost. It feels like holding up the sky with trembling hands. The body bends, the spirit aches, and yet the world only sees you standing tall. It's like walking through the fire while everyone applauds your composure. It's being invisible in your endurance and then immediately judged and criticized the moment you falter. That's the cruelty of being unsupported. The stronger you become, the fewer people ask how you're doing. They stop checking in. The more reliable you are, the more invisible you feel. The more dependable you become, the more that they forget you're human. And still, somehow, you rise. Day after day, you armor yourself in grace. You bury your bruises beneath competence. You carry the weight of the world while no one sees how heavy it truly is. And you do it not because it's easy, but because the alternative is collapsing and letting it all fall apart. So losing this war is far more deadly. And here's the brutal truth. Support is a luxury. Responsibility is a necessity. And when no one else is there, when no one else shows up, when you're faced with a choice, collapse or rise. So you choose to rise, in silence, in solitude, with trembling hands and a soul stitched together by sheer will. And in this rising, something shifts. You stop waiting to be rescued. You stop begging for permission. You stop seeking approval and acceptance. And you become more. And that kind of transformation is dangerous. And not dangerous in a way that harms yourself or others, but in a way that threatens everything that is shallow, performative, and weak. You become dangerous to mediocrity. Excuses and lies tremble in your presence because you've built something unshakable from the very ashes of every fire that tried to destroy you. You became a quiet storm, a force that doesn't need to be loud to be felt, a soul forged in silence by the raw force of rising again and again. This transformation, it isn't easy, but it's real, it's raw, and it is powerful. But even strength forged in silence has a history. Behind every unshakable soul is a story, a moment, a season, a breaking point, when the choice to rise wasn't noble, it was necessary. Because before the transformation, there was pain, there was loneliness, there was the aching question, will anyone ever see me? And I know this because I've lived it. After the abuse ended, I thought that the hardest part was behind me. But what came after, the silence, the shame, the solitude, was louder than the chaos had ever been. No one came to help me pick up the pieces. No one told me that I was going to be okay. No one clapped when I kept breathing, kept moving, kept trying. And that silence, that solitude, it nearly crushed me. It whispered lies that I was forgettable, that I was weak, that I was too damaged to be worth saving. But in that silence, something else stirred. Not strength, not hope, just the smallest flicker of refusal. Refusal to stay broken. Refusal to let the pain win. So I rose, not because I felt strong, but because I had a plan. So I rose with shaky hands and a fractured heart. I rose without applause, without witness. I rose because the alternative, resentment, self-destruction, was heavier than the pain itself. And in that rising, I found something no one could give me, a power that was mine, a strength born not from being saved, but from saving myself. So if you're hearing this right now, if you've been carrying battles and fighting a war that no one else can see, listen closely. You are not invisible. I see you, and I know that you are not weak for feeling broken. You are extraordinary for refusing to let that brokenness define you. Your strength and resilience are unmatched. The quiet victories you fought for, the mornings when you got up when you just wanted to stay in bed, the days when you showed up when you wanted to disappear, those victories, they matter. They are shaping you into someone stronger than you know. Your strength may not be loud, but it is the kind of strength that this world is built on. So this is the silent battle of the unsupported soul. It's not glamorous, it's not loud, but it is real and it is powerful. Because the unsupported soul learns a secret. You were never waiting for them. You were waiting for you. And now it's your time to rise. So stand tall and face the world. Because you were not meant to stay small. You were meant to rise.